Today we're talking about retention attraction and NF attraction, the truthful side of it. This is something that the vast majority of YouTubers, they honestly get wrong. They don't really tell you guys the full story or exactly how it kind of works, which I want to break it in depth, basically what they don't cover or what they miss, because they make it seem like you attract women effortlessly, and it doesn't actually happen like that, and you guys are going to see throughout this video. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to start off with is essentially realize that you need to practice retention or NF for at least 30 days minimum, in my honest opinion, for you to even see anything. And the reason I say you got to practice this is because essentially you're going to boost your confidence, and it's just something that happens naturally. I believe this is kind of due to your testosterone, which your testosterone does increase after 7 days. Of course, this was going based off of one study, but there was a Reddit story that I did as well on my YouTube channel, which essentially a guy tested before he started a streak, and then like 30 days later, and he saw an increase in his testosterone. So going based that, essentially your testosterone increases your confidence, because if you guys look at videos what your testosterone pretty much does for you, it's a lot of the benefits that people mention on retention. Like, they'll notice they get confident, they get energetic, they're more happy, they're vibrant, they have that eye contact, which that is due to the confidence. And so essentially this is something that I actually, if you guys watch some of my other videos with my girlfriend, she mentions like she can notice like guys that hold eye contact, and like it's more attractive. That confidence, it's just something that women find attractive just by nature. It's something that it's just natural to them, and they find it really attractive. So you will get attraction, but here's the thing: if you're out of shape and you're not looking as best as possible, you're not going to get that attention like somebody that is attractive. So I want you guys to realize that you need to at least be average or above average for you to start seeing like, oh, okay, well, I know what this guy is talking about. I ended up getting approached, or somebody sparked a conversation just out of the blue, out of the ordinary, something that would never typically happen to me, and you'll notice it. And you'll see this like across my other videos. You'll watch them and you'll be like, oh, okay, well, he has this story, he has that story. And essentially in those stories, it's just like out of the blue. One of them was in the gym. I was just doing my own workout. There was another free bench, and then there was a bench down on the side. And essentially this chick, she just approached me and she's like, hey, are you using that? And I was like, you can see that there's obviously two empty ones. And this is something that you kind of do in the gym just naturally when you're working out, is essentially you're working out and then you look at something that you want to go work out on next, and you'll see that it's empty. And then while you're still working out on the machine or whatever equipment that you're using, you're like, okay, well, I haven't seen anybody use that equipment in the past 5-10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and hop over to that one. So that's why I'm saying they'll approach you and talk to you indirectly. But going back to being attractive, essentially the more attractive you are, the more easier just interactions happen. This is something that I have noticed ever since I started increasing my mass just in general, because I was a little bit on the leaner side. And based off my experience, I noticed that a lot more women want to interact with me. This is something that you guys will notice as you go along your journey. It's like it becomes a little bit more easier, especially if you increase your looks. So honestly, start working out, start hitting the gym, start increasing your physique. It's super easy. The competition is really low. The vast majority of people are out of shape. If you look at statistics on people like that are overweight, I think it's like 60%, 70%. It's actually getting really ridiculous. So your competition is virtually nobody. Once you start leveling up and you start increasing your looks, you'll notice these interactions. Whether you practice retention or not, you're going to notice that women want to interact with you a whole lot more. Of course, doing retention, it gives you an extra edge. It gives you the extra boost. This is something that you'll notice. So that's why I say you got to practice it for at least 30 days and be somewhat good looking. And you'll start noticing, oh, okay, well, I start noticing I get a whole lot more attention, or I just notice a lot more people just want to be around me, and they start conversations. This is something that you'll notice as well, is just people in general, they want to talk to you, they want to interact with you. It's weird. It's like essentially you get on another level and you just start attracting people naturally. This is something that you'll notice. Again, trying to come from a logical perspective. If you're watching a lot of retention videos, I don't know if it's something that's placebo as well. It's like, hey, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see that, and essentially you start believing it and you start noticing it. It's something like, oh, you're gonna hold that eye contact a whole lot longer, and then you're like, it stays with your mind, and then you start paying attention. Hey, am I holding eye contact longer? And you're kind of tricking yourself into holding that eye contact a little bit longer. So it's something that I'm trying to come from a logical perspective, but going based off of some of the things that a lot of the people that notice, like that make retention videos, or essentially like the Reddit stories that I cover, they all have the exact same thing, which it could be a placebo, but for people to kind of notice it quite often, I think it's something that's very possible. So I'm trying to come from a logical perspective. Obviously, if you're attractive, you're going to attract attention, and you're also going to just attract people just in general. It's something that just happens naturally. So that's why I'm really emphasizing working out, getting into like a really good physique. Of course, you can change things like your fashion, your hairstyle, little features here and there, but that isn't as important as your physique. So anyways, to conclude it, kind of for all you guys to kind of understand, so if you're practicing retention for the female attraction, or if you're curious that if it does work, essentially I would say after 30 days, after like 2 months, that's where it really, like, you'll start seeing it happen quite a bit. Of course, you do have to be somewhat good looking. If you're average to above average, you're gonna notice it. If you're below average, you're probably not gonna notice anything. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'm not seeing any results. I haven't seen what all these other people are talking about. The other thing is, you have things that just women view in nature, like the eye contact. You'll see that they're just attracted to that naturally, and this is something that you'll just feel just naturally when you're practicing retention. Is essentially you get like this extra boost of confidence. You're like, okay, well, I'm not dependent on the outcome, I'm not dependent on this, and you just become more natural. You be confident with whatever you say, however you act, and you just own it. It's something that's totally way different, and as a byproduct, women notice this and they find it attractive. So you'll just kind of notice it, like your personality. Just be honest with yourself, go to your day-to-day basis, kind of compare and reflect. And then here's the biggest part where you'll notice, if you end up resetting one of your streaks, you're gonna feel like, whoa, I feel like I lost all my benefits. Of course, it's not like, hey, you lose 100%. It's like how I said multiple times on several videos, it's like a water tank. You keep on filling it up, and it keeps on getting higher and higher till you max out, and then it starts lowering every time you reset your streak. Of course, you are gonna have noticed like, hey, I'm not feeling energetic and I'm not feeling today, but it's different for everybody. And I want you guys to realize that as well, is it's different. Whatever I talk about is different from what somebody else talks about on another video. You kind of have to compare several videos and be like, oh, okay, well, these are the common things and factor that they mention in all these videos, so this is probably what's true. So I want you guys to come from a logical perspective as well. Start comparing, and then compare with yourself. Make it a goal to hit 30 days or 30 plus days, and you guys will start seeing some of these little things that happen. The other thing I want to mention is, what kind of lifestyle are you living? Are you in a place where you're in a social setting? Like, are you interacting with people constantly? Because like, the thing that people don't realize with the attraction part is, if you're going to the store, and you're going to the store like late at night when there's nobody there shopping, or you go super early in the morning and there's nobody to interact with, of course you're not going to notice that as well. If you're not going out and doing activities in like social settings, you're not going to notice it. You have to constantly be surrounding yourself by people, and then just by chance it might happen, it might not. It's just, that's just the way how the world kind of works. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys on the next video.